Alright, so we're just going to stick to this left side here. No, what is that called? That's, no, that's the mall. That is the mall. Under that.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was the next one over. Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
And I'm Emily.
Emily and I are here today to chat about the new Rossignol Rallybird skis, and in this video particularly the Rallybird 92. If you watch our channel, if you follow our content, you probably saw that Bob and I chatted about the whole new Sender and Rallybird line for 2023. So Rossignol's kind of taking some existing skis, some new skis, and kind of just repackaging their whole line into something that I think makes way more sense, differentiating between different lines. So the Rallybird line is now kind of home to, I guess, what I would call wider all-mountain or freeride skis. You know, this 92 is not really a true freeride ski just yet, more like a wider all-mountain ski. And then they've got the Escaper line, which is more focused on touring, and then we have the Black Ops line, which is more twin-tippy kind of freestyle influenced skis, where last year and the previous year, everything fell under the Black Ops umbrella, which got a little bit confusing. So I'm kind of glad they took those three things and separated it.
Yeah, diversified and
Totally.
Yeah.
It just adds more clarity to the line. You kind of know what you're looking at.
definitely.
So we're going to chat about the Rallybird 92. Before we get Emily's opinion on it, just a quick update on shape and construction and stuff like that. You may already be familiar with this if you watched the first video that we did, but this is a pretty darn lightweight ski. They start with a Polonia wood core in here, and then there's not a ton of additive technologies in here. One of the things that's synonymous or holds true through all these skis is damp tech. So they use some rubber application focused up here in the tip or the forebody of the ski. Does a really good job at quieting vibrations, stuff like that. Then we also have Rossignol's air tip, which, you know, was famous on skis like the Soul 7, Sky 7. They had that big long air tip that you could like see through.
Yep.
Now, if you stand over here, we can see through it. If you hold it up to the light, you guys probably won't be able to see that, but basically the air tip on these skis is now just about that long instead of where it used to be.
I like that more, actually.
Totally.
Yeah.
It gives the ski definitely a stronger feel throughout this portion of it. You know, the previous skis, the Sky 7 and the Soul 7, were somewhat notorious for a lot of tip flap.
Yeah.
Sometimes go as far as tip chatter. These skis, at least what I've found on the men's side, are a lot smoother.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then to take just a quick look at shape, this is 100% a directional ski. You know, we're not seeing any twin tip here. We do get quite a lot of tip rocker up here in the shovel. You know, it starts right there where my hand is. And then if you were to compare that to tail rocker, I'd say about half.
Yeah.
Half the length of tail rocker, and really not much splay here in the back of the ski. So definitely a directional ski.
Yes.
You would probably guess that it's 92 underfoot with the name Rallybird 92. This 170 that I'm holding is 94 underfoot. So you get a little bit of a range there.
Oh, okay.
Drop down to the 154 and you're 90 underfoot, which isn't terribly surprising. That typically happens with a lot of skis. But keep that in mind if you're shopping and you're hung up on waist width. Maybe double check the specs and see what you're buying. And then this 170 has a 16 meter radius. The 162 that Emily is standing next to has a 14 meter radius. That 154 has a 12 meter radius.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a bigger difference if you're kind of comparing lengths within a single ski here. That difference in width from 90 to 94, that's not going to make a big difference, but a 12 to a 16 meter radius is going to feel quite a bit different.
Yeah.
And Emily, you were skiing the 162. Yep. I know you're the type of skier that if you have the opportunity, you would probably choose that 170 for yourself.
Yes.
I think testing the 162 at your size is perfectly appropriate, and I think a lot of skiers your size would ultimately be choosing that length. So what do you think?
Yeah, I was really excited to get on the Rallybirds for a few reasons. I haven't actually had a ton of days on Rossignol skis in general.
Cool.
So
Fresh.
yeah, I was really intrigued to give, and I skied the 92s and the 104s. And the 92s, like you said, I was on the 162, which definitely skied short for me, but I think it skis true to size. So if, especially if you're more of a beginner and you're looking for an all-mountain ski that is, doesn't require a lot of commanding, it's perfect.
Yep.
For a more intermediate to advanced skier, I would go up in length, and it's still a great, versatile ski for an intermediate to advanced skier looking for just a lighter, maneuverable ski for a variety of conditions. The day that I skied them, I actually was on pretty ideal conditions.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
super variable.
Totally, and it was, it was like packed powder, couple inches of fresh, I think. But I was able to take them on some moguls, which I really enjoy skiing. And although I didn't get to go into many trees, I think they would perform really well in, moguls and tight trees.
Yep.
Because of, the turning radius of these had the 14 meter. Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty light.
Super light. So, for skiing moguls and trees, a lightweight ski with a, shorter turn radius is pretty ideal. So I was really impressed with, how easily they were able to, pop edge to edge. Going through the moguls was just like a breeze. It was super fun and playful. So although they are on like the lighter end of weight, they are still super stable, really just all around very versatile. Like I felt like when we were on the groomers, after getting into the moguls,
Yep.
I was still able to, carve really, really confidently and bring them up to speed. But
Yep.
yeah, and then as you were saying, the tail, there's a lot of rocker in the tip, which I didn't get into a lot of fresh snow, but I think that they would perform really well if, there were a few more inches of fresh. The tails, not a lot of tail splay and, more of a directional profile. So that said, I think they were just a little bit, like stable through all the way, like effective edge all the way down through the tail.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Totally.
When you have a lightweight ski, I think it's important to kind of have that longer edge contact.
Exactly. Yep.
We had this ski in our ski test, obviously. All of the skis we talked about on these reviews end up in our ski test. And not to give anything away, we haven't published ski test results yet, but I was kind of combing through feedback from a bunch of different testers that skied it earlier today, and kind of the general consensus was that it's got a really good mix of feeling pretty stable and pretty damp. And I think both of those things are impressive when you consider how light it is and how maneuverable it is. Just under 1,700 grams in the 170 centimeter length, which it's not the lightest thing in the world. It's not like an uphill touring ski or like a dedicated alpine touring ski, but certainly light enough that you benefit from the low swing weight and kind of takes away some of the fatigue, which, we had a pretty big range of ability levels on it, and the intermediate level skiers were having just as much fun as skiers like yourself, which I think is a big accomplishment for a brand like
Absolutely.
Rossignol.
And I wanted to definitely highlight the dampness of them in both sizes and models that I got on. That's like really what stood out for me was they were so smooth.
Right.
Just really, getting onto some variable conditions, like handled it all really well. It's just like a really smooth ride is what like a big takeaway for me.
Yeah, it's impressive that they achieved that too without the use of like a full sheet of metal.
Exactly.
Or, other additives, like they put carbon alloy matrix up here into the 104. The 92 doesn't have any of that stuff. And amazingly, it's still it's still pretty quiet.
Yeah.
On the men's side, the men's ski does get a little bit more metal, but there are a ton of similarities between this ski and the Sender. I think the men's is the 94, the Sender 94 Ti, and I felt the same way on that thing. It was light and flickable, but had some good stability to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about putting an Alpine touring binding on there for like an East Coast skier?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that would be a really ideal ski for touring, given the lightness, but also, you know, though it's light, like the downhill performance is strong, and definitely East Coast touring ski for sure.
I don't think I'd put on like a full-on Pintech
No.
Super Tech binding, but if you're thinking like Duke PT12, that would be awesome.
Yep.
You know, the lighter version of the Shift. I wouldn't go all the way to Shift 13, get the lighter one.
Yep.
I think you could make like a really cool hybrid touring resort ski.
Absolutely.
If you're the type of skier that wants to just have one pair of skis that you can use for a little bit of everything, it's a great choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any lasting thoughts on it? Any closing thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
I mean, I would love to have more time on them. You know, they are an all mountain freeride ski. I was mostly kind of limited to that mogul kind of tree type of conditions, with a little bit of groomer time, but would kind of love to get into the trees more with them, given how poppy and playful they were, and just kind of, play around on them more. They're super fun and light, and
We'll let you take a pair to Mad River and
perfect. They would shine
put 'em to
there.
the test.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great ski for Mad River, and when Rossignol first came out with the Black Ops Sender line, so thinking back 2 years ago when they first got rid of the Soul 7 and the Sky 7, I went to Mad River and I skied the Sender and the Sender Ti back to back. And the Sender and this ski, there are differences, but there are some similarities too. In those situations, I thought the Sender Ti, which is now like the Sender 106 Ti Plus, it was kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Like it was a cool ski, super fun, but felt more like it had like out west, wide open terrain, let it run vibes. Where when I started getting on the lighter skis, the Escaper would kind of be the equivalent to this one, which is now that Sender 94, but that's been changed, and this is beside the point. When I got on some of those lighter, narrower skis, they really shined and really were quick through Mad River tight trees.
Yeah, and just finding another all-mountain ski that is, you know, I definitely like a lightweight ski for the right conditions. Yep. But then that ski with, you know, attributes from a ski that's like a little bit heavier and can, you know, you can drive more. So it's not like a crazy powerful like commander ski, like you know, if that's what you're looking for, but for like an all mountain, lightweight, maneuverable, versatile ski, like definitely would turn to the 92s.
Yeah, so like if you skied it back to back with like a Vocal Kenja, you're gonna feel a difference between those two skis, or that Mindbender that you took out west. Like you're gonna feel a difference between those two skis. You know, one is heavier, lots of metal in there. This is designed to be more user friendly, more forgiving,
one ski,
and more
quiver
of a versatile tool. And I think they did a great job. I think like one of the coolest things about what Rossignol has done in the past 3 years now, if we consider this and then also the 2 previous years, is they listen to a lot of feedback from skiers out there. You know, skiers like yourself who are pretty aggressive and like to ski fast. And like the Sky 7 had its benefits, but for skiers like you would just fly right past its limits, which I think was kind of frustrating for some people. And I think Rossignol has done a very commendable job kind of taking that feedback, boosting these skis, like beefing them up just a little bit without losing that like playfulness and lightweight feel. So, good job, Rossignol. Let us know if you have any questions about them. I'll relay those questions to Emily, Allie, who you've seen in a lot of our videos, who like, I don't know why I'm pointing. She's down there somewhere. She's spent quite a bit of time on this. You saw some footage of her in this video as well. So let us know if you have any questions, and I'll bounce them over to Emily or Allie, and we'll get back to you.
Cool.
So let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you out there on the slopes.
See ya.